Beep, beep, toot, toot. Hey, good people. It's your Alabama Church Girl. Just like I told you, I was coming live right here on the Alabama Church Girl page. I'm so excited. I got a couple of extra fam in the studio on today. Got my brother and my sister here with me. So you know what? Since it's a family affair, go ahead and tag your brother, your sister, your church brothers, your church sisters. Let them know that the Alabama Church Girl is live right now. And that we are having a great spirited discussion on today. Is the church house really a storehouse? Bring all the tithes into the storehouse so there will be meat in my house. Somebody quote that scripture for me correctly. Because that's what's been preached to us all this time. Tell me what's up. Is the church really a storehouse? I just want to know. I'm just asking. I know I'm stirring up trouble, but I mean to do it is I'm stirring up trouble on purpose. I really would like for your pastor, your leader, your preacher friends to call in and get me straight on today, okay? I got to kick up a little dust because, you know, there's a lot of talk about church and church people. And if we don't get it right ourselves, I would hate for the world to have to get us right. I would hate for us to totally have to be humiliated publicly amongst people outside of the family. That's all I want to have a family discussion on today. And let's get this right, church. Are we really a storehouse? Is this really the place that the people, the righteous, can run into and be safe, especially during this time of a pandemic, Gaithia? And are my thoughts too far-fetched? Or is anybody else thinking the same thing? Is the church really a storehouse? We've been bringing our tithes into the storehouse for decades after decades, generation after generation, so that there will be meat in the house. And I got an email on this week, and the email was from Givelify. Givelify is the giving app that has been established for a few years now. I know that churches have been pushing this app for the saints to be able to give from wherever they are, all around the world at any time. They can just donate to the church. And it's a wonderful thing to give and donate. Now, I'm not saying that. But my focus on the back scene is what's happening with this givings, with our givings, Shanae. Where did our givings go that the church is still asking for donations during the pandemic? It says bring all the tithes and offers into the house, into the storehouse, so that there will be meat in mine house. There's no meat? I'm perplexed. I mean, even in your personal house, you know that you got a checking account, but you got a savings account. Put some back for hard times, right? If everybody has been given, and I'm just saying this theoretically because I know everybody don't give, but it's enough people that's been given. And every leader, all the leadership has been doing correctly with the givings, then there should be some meat in the storehouse, right, Brenda? Thank you. I appreciate your message, and let's do that. I did get it. Let's do that. But if the money has been coming in, what happened to it? Is there meat in the storehouse? Just saying. So can we do a little Dottie Peoples today? Get your house in order. If you can, it's all right. Because I wouldn't mind doing a little Isley Brothers either. Money, 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 money. I'm a mess, y'all. I know I am, but I can admit it. I'm a mess, a whole mess. We got 5 minutes till we go live right here on Rewind 97.9. You have 5 minutes to go ahead and tag your friends and come on in. The phone number once again is 334-591-0340. So you can call in and let's have this heated discussion. It doesn't even have to be heated. Let's just have a spirited debate about this giving. Is the church really a storehouse, or is it a country club? Because when I got that email, that's the first thing that came to my mind, Shanae. I got the email from Givelify saying, help us help the church. I was like, help us help the church? The church should be good. If nobody else, if no other business is good, the church should be good. It should be paid for. And we've been giving to the building fund for over 100 years. Unless you got one of them churches that just, mushroomed up overnight and, is now a mega ministry. It's only been established, only had its, second year anniversary. And the pastor got a whole Bentley for his second year church anniversary. You know what I mean? Those type churches. You know what I mean, Brenda? She said, it's all good, Isabel. Okay, will do. Those type churches, is that the problem? And then, people flock to those type of ministries. When they see leadership being successful, they feel like that's the picture of what success is. That the preacher is driving on a Bentley, his wife is all cute, slim in the waist, and thick, cute in the face, you know what I mean? His children go to the private schools and they get the elite education. And that people actually do flock to ministries like that and give all they got. Patricia, they give all they got to ministries like that. Not saying that all of them are wrong. Now, y'all don't. I'm not generalizing. Not all ministries that are having a profitable pastoral leadership are wrong. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the ministry doing right by the funds that are coming into the house so that the ministry in total, the masses, can eat from the meat of the storehouse. In times like this, in a pandemic like this, where people have been out of jobs for months now, where children have been out of school for months now, is there meat in the house that the people, and in black churches, it's 80% women and children can go into the house and be fed. Just think about the very first church, the very first Christian church in the book of Acts, that everyone sold all they had and brought everything to one central location, the church, and everybody had everything in common. Now, I'm not saying that we're going into we need to go into a communist environment, Daryl, but what I am asking is, where is the meat in the storehouse? What are we doing to be able to help people? And why is it that I'm seeing more of churches asking for help than giving help? Those that are giving help, I'm seeing them do it in a publicity manner more so than genuine, authentic, we know that you need type manner. I'm not saying that every church is like that, because you all that have been following me for a minute, throughout this entire pandemic, know that my mother has been going through a health crisis. Our family has been going through, with several family members having a health crisis during this time, and the church really has donated to my mother and to the family. Say, hey, do you need us to get hotel rooms? The church really did do that. So not every church is in question, but many of them are. Why is Givelify emailing me, y'all, to help us help the church? Why are their pastors online asking for people to give their stimulus check to the church? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make good sense. We have 15 seconds and we're going live right here on Rewind 97.9 WYDK. What? Y'all didn't know? Go ahead and tag your friends. Just go live on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Can't wait to commune with her. Can't wait to get up with her. It's the Alabama Church Girl. So what's the topic for this again? Well, you know I love you, but we gotta get it right. A PR for the preacher, publicist for the people. All right, Lord, you gotta be with me on this. I feel like Jeremiah. I know the people don't want to hear it, but it's like fire in my bones and I gotta let it out. Lord, when I open up my mouth, you speak for me. Let me have no fear of their faces. All right, y'all. Here we go. It's the Alabama Church Girl. Beep, beep, toot, toot. Hey, good people, it's your Alabama Church Girl here, right here on Rewind 97.9. First, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life, to all the leaders, saints, and friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome on in. I definitely want to send a special shout out to all the pastors, preachers, missionaries, evangelists. Today is your day to call in 334-591-0340. Please, please, please go ahead and prepare to call. Today is a conversation that I want to directly talk to you. What's the topic for today? Today's topic is the church really a storehouse? If you want to be blessed, pay your tithes and your offering, right? Well, the people are looking for the blessings and it didn't come with a stimulus check. We're wanting to know, is it in the house? Is the blessing in the house? So, pastors, leaders, saints, and friends, in the year of 2020, when Betty Wright died, I saw the church high and lifted up, and she had the blues. And this is what I want to ask you. Is the church really a storehouse? So we've been going generation after generation, year after year, decade after decade. We have heard this message preached. Y'all can finish it for me. All right, Kenya, here we go. Malachi, what? I ain't hear you. Somebody say it a little louder. Malachi 3 what? Says, bring all the tithes into the storehouse. Tithes and offerings into the storehouse, so that there will be meat in mine house, right? So, right now, we're 2 months deep into a pandemic. Global pandemic. United States nationwide is in pandemic. The state of Alabama just open the doors back up. We're in a pandemic. It's better to stay at home than to be out. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Most employers have not opened their doors yet. And when they do, Barbara, they'll only open their doors for a small percentage of the employees to come back into work. A small percentage, they'll only be able to serve a small percentage of the public. Well, why is that important? Who cares? All of us care because it affects each and every one of us. The world moves by money. We all need it. We all want it. The Isley brothers said we got to have it. We got to have it to live. And many of us have been taught that every 10% of the earnings you get, you need to take it to the house, to the church house, to the storehouse. And we've been doing that. Decade after decade, like I said, generation after generation, we've passed that message along to our children. Some of us have heard our mother say it. We've heard our grandmother say it. We've heard our great-grandfather say it. And here we are bringing our 10% into the storehouse. So there will be meat in mine house. So if there's meat in God's house, in the middle of a pandemic, can I go to God's house to get some meat? Hey, Cardis, can I go to God's house to get some meat? I just need to know. The saints are in mourning. The church is in mourning. Unemployment rates are up over 24% within the Black community. People are not going back to work. I know that some people have applied for unemployment, but still waiting on the unemployment check. Can the people go to the church house as a storehouse to find meat in the house, Rhonda? I need to know. Once again, go ahead and tag your pastor, your preacher, your evangelist, the missionaries, the mothers, the saints, and the friends, and tell them come on in right here, 334-591-0340, and answer this question for me. Where are the houses? Where are the pastors that have stored up for the church meat in the house? Where are the houses? Where are the church houses that have made a plan for a pandemic for such a time as this? Where are the houses that have apartment buildings already established and in the pocket and it said, okay, if the saint need a place to sleep and lay their head, here we are, come on in. The doors of the church are open, Rhonda. Where is the house that says, oh, we will not allow our members to be hungry? We have a food bank already prepared. What you need, come in just like the manna. Take what you need for today and come back because we'll be here again on tomorrow. Brenda, where is that house? Preacher man, let me know what's going on. Because in the year of 2020, amid the COVID-19 pandemic, the economy has come to a screeching halt. The saints are not able to go serve Peter, to make money, to pay to Paul for the lights. The government has put a temporary ban on evictions, so the saints aren't even stressed over paying Millie for the rent. Is there even a mite or a pence left in their pockets to pay tithes and offering? And that's why I couldn't understand. I got an email on this week from Givelify, which is the app that allows the saints to give it all back to God. Anywhere, from any place, no matter if I get shipped off to Iraq, Iran, I can give on the app Givelify. Any time of day, any day of the week, you're able to give to the church house of your choice on this particular app. Well, the app emailed me on this week because I have used the app in order to give to churches in times past. And they emailed me on this week and asked, help us help the church. And I got puzzled. I got a little bit perplexed. I thought Givelify was emailing me to tell me they had to drop something down in my PayPal, in my Cash App, in my bank account. That's what I thought Givelify was emailing me to say. But when I read the message, it said in bold print, help us help the church. And I wondered, Brenda, what's wrong with the church? The church, if Miss Millie is not asking for her rent money, why does the church need help? If Alabama Power said we're not going to shut off your lights right now, why does the church need help? And I just want to know, Calvin, why is it that I need to give to help the church in this time? Because the church was supposed to be a storehouse. And if anything, the church is supposed to be making meat for our houses at this time. It should be the place that the righteous can run into to be safe during this time of pandemic. I think there's a little bit too much highs. So Brenda asks, why can't the church have the same faith that is asked of its parishioners? That's a mighty question, Brenda. And I ain't got no help in here. The preacher man is scared to call in. 334-591-0340. I'm so serious. I want to have this conversation with your pastor. That the same faith, as Brenda says, that is required and asked of us, why is the church not exercising that type of faith during this time? Not only exercising that type of faith, why is this church not exercising that type of humanity during this time and giving back to those that have been given to the house, given to the house, given to the house, given to the house? So listen, this is something that it really hit home because we live in a capitalist society. And honestly, most millionaires and trillionaires get rich during a time like this. You know why? They know how to play the game, Michael. They understand that when people panic, money is moved by emotions. I hope y'all understand that. Let me say this side note to the black culture, black church people. The reason we see so many commercials and advertisements and marketing towards our community right now, because we are some highly emotional people. We are hyper emotional. And those that are in big business understand that. There was a time growing up when I was younger where you hardly ever saw black people in commercials. We barely had channels and TV stations. So now you see a whole lot more of it, and you see a bigger push towards our community because we are highly emotional. If they do something bad, we get angry and we go straight to the social medias and we start expressing our anger. And guess what? All we're doing is giving them publicity. If something good is done, someone wants to highlight it or get happy and get excited about it, we pop off. We're going straight to social media. Girl, let me tag it in this. Did you see this? That's exactly. Money is moved by emotions. So when fear is a very major, substantial emotion, in a time of fear and pandemic, the money is moving. It is currency flowing during this time. I know y'all heard about the young man off of Love and Hip Hop that just got arrested because he knew what time it was. It's a time to get a come up. Or that's what he thought. Y'all heard about it. I know y'all did. Saints, don't act like y'all ain't watched Love and Hip Hop, because I know you do. Anywho, so y'all heard about how he went and got these millions of dollars from the government because the government started giving out money. Just give it out because the people are afraid. Well, he's reaping a repercussion because of it. But my point in telling you that or bringing that up is that the money was moving. So he got on board because he knew the money was moving and moving quickly. Well, the church should be jumping on board in the exact same manner, doing it righteously and doing it legally, but the money is moving. So I'm reading and I'm looking at the newspapers. I'm looking at Google and the Bloomberg.com. I'm on all these sites reading about money moving. And what I'm seeing is that interest rates for our housing industry is going way down. Interest rates are down to 2.5%. You can't beat that. This is a steal of a deal. Foreclosures, they're basically 50% off of a house. Okay, where is the house, the storehouse that has enough savings in the bank to say now is the time for us to go and sweep through on these clearance deals? And basically that's what it is. This is the time. The wealth of the wicked was laid up and stored for the just, and now it's time for us to go and reap what is due to us. Beep beep toot toot, Ricky, I see you. Where's the house that has already thought ahead of the game, who are in the game and said, okay, now is the time. We know that the fear is moving the currency. Let's jump on top of this for the good. I'm looking for that house. And preacher man, if you're not scared, and if you are finished with your dirty bird, please jump online. 334-591-0340. I need a conscience saint to be online to tell me, is the church really a storehouse, or have we gotten this thing wrong? Have we been preaching to the people year after year, Sunday after Sunday, decade after decade, to bring your money to us just so the preacher can ride in the finest, live in the finest, sit on the fattest hill, and tell everybody else about why they're so wrong? If that's what the problem is, then it's now time for a change. Am I preaching good, Hankins? Or am I wrong? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, because I'm open to correction. 334-591-0340. I am open to hear from you. What are we doing, church? Where our people are out here asking for help from the government instead of being able to ask for help from the place that they've been visiting and supporting every single Sunday, sometimes 3, 4, 5 times a week. Your children are there. Your family is there. We get married here. We get buried here. My life is in this church, but I can't get no lifeline from the church. I need to know, what are we doing? The money is moving. Why am I not seeing the reports of the church has now gained 13 new acres of land? Why am I not seeing the reports that now the church is feeding this many more thousand people in the community? Michael, I'm nobody's pastor, but I will preach. Now, I'm going to take a text sometimes, Brenda, but it might not be the message that you wanted to hear, because I'm the Alabama church girl, and I tell a hard truth. And that's something that I've seen too many times, is that the truth is there. It's staring us in the face, but we are blind sheep and don't want to see it. We put our blinders on and just say, whatever the preacher man say got to be right. I'm reading. I got to take my blinders off. That's why I got my glasses on, so I can see real good what this word says for real. Because my mama didn't send me to school so to not be able to read. I need to read and study and show and understand this stuff myself. I had some good literature teachers. I had some good reading coaches in school that taught me how to read with understanding and comprehension. That taught me how to have a critical thinking mind. Ask some questions behind the statement that you just heard so that you can really understand it. And all of us should. Ricky says that they're hoarding up the funds. Jesus turned the tables over. This pandemic is doing the same thing. You better preach on this Facebook, Ricky. Yes, because Jesus came in and said, my house will be called the house of prayer. Y'all have made it a den of thieves. And Christopher, what I'm trying to find out is the house a storehouse, or is it the den of thieves? Somewhere, I'm kind of feeling like this has been a Ponzi scheme. All of us have been paying in, and when it's time for us to get the return on our investment, whoa, the head man in charge then cut out and said, hey, y'all help me. My family going through. What? I can't pay my house, my $3,500 house note no more. What? How is it that we've had a building fund for 40 years and the church ain't paid for? Church ain't paid off. We still need to help keep the church? What type of deals have you made with the bank that we don't own several properties by now? Ricky said we've been bamboozled. Have we? Or did we blindly go in and not ask questions? And I'm one of those type of saints. You can ask my pastor. I don't mind asking questions. Wait a minute, Pastor. Now, you said this on Sunday, and I got some questions. Can you explain this to me, Veronica? And every pastor should be open to a question, because what do you have to hide? If there's an understanding that I didn't get from what you said across the pulpit, do you mind having a meeting? Do you mind coming by the house and let's talk? And no, my skirt ain't coming up. It ain't one of those type of meetings. And your wife don't have no reason to feel jealous. And if she does, then I'm questioning what's wrong with you. You don't know how to keep yourself in check, Pastor? And that goes for the females too, because there are some women out there that, Anywho, back on topic. He that winneth souls is wise. Is that not what the word says? Well, I don't believe when Jesus told the disciples to throw down your nets, put those fish back, come follow me. I don't think they gave up their careers to go follow a loser. I don't think they left their families and their homes to go follow a loser. He that winneth souls is wise. And the church has got to be wise about our finances. I was in a particular church at a particular time in my life, and I had moved away from the state, and I moved back to the state. And when I came back, I went back to the same church that I was at in college, and one of the elders said to me, well, when I came back, I came in with blinders on. I didn't know anything that was going on. I just came back expecting the same people and expecting the same spirit. I just, blind sheep. And over some time, I discovered that there had been an indiscretion with the pastor and one of the members. And one of the elders said to me that every married couple that stayed in that church after they knew what was going on ended up in divorce. And in saying that, she said that the spirit flows from the head down Aaron's beard onto the congregation. And I'm bringing this particular incident up and saying financial struggle, bad credit, not being able to afford or own anything, the spirit flows from the head down Aaron's beard onto the congregation. What is the leadership doing financially? Are you being responsible? Or are you committing some flagrant fouls? Why is a church struggling and Givelify is asking, help us help the church? If the church is asking for help, what do we expect of the members? Is this church a storehouse? Michael said people have just shut their mouths and not said anything. The pastors have rebuked the ones that have asked questions. Well, who is he? Who is he? We're the ones, and we discussed this a couple of weeks ago, Michael, that we're the ones that idolize him so much that we don't understand that he is just a man. That man of God, that MOG title has become so big in our own minds that we forget that he is just a man that has to boldly go to the throne of grace just like we do. I got a freedom of speech as long as I'm in America. I got a right to ask any question I want to ask. I got a right to say whatever I want to say. Now you can ask me to leave your house, but that doesn't stop me from asking a question. Just like if anyone comes into your home and questions the head of the household in your home, you have a right to ask them, I feel comfortable with you being here anymore. Could you please leave my house? But that doesn't stop them from asking the question. Veronica says, you're helping us on today. Well, thank you. I appreciate your support, Veronica. The question once again is the church a storehouse, or have we been getting this thing wrong for generation after generation, decade after decade, preaching to the people to bring their money into the house? And then when the people are in need, they're banging on the doors of the church and ain't nobody there to let them in. And even if they break in, ain't nothing in there no way. It's a problem. I see it as a problem. Help us help the church. The church should be the hospital. That's backwards. That's backwards. Givelify, help us help the church. That's backwards. The hospital should be helping the people. In the book of Luke, did not they call the church the spiritual hospital? Am I wrong? Ain't no preacher called in. I guess I might be talking something that's right. 334-591-0340. Every single Sunday, the Alabama Church Girl here is 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Rewind 97.9, asking the hard questions, speaking the hard truth, because I really do love you. When I say you, I'm speaking of the church. In particular, the black church. Am I discriminating? No, because I love all people. If you knew my family, you'd understand what I mean. But the black church is my experience. The black church is where I learned to love God. The black church is where I fell in love with gospel music. The black church is where I fell in love with the power of preaching. I don't want to go to a church that doesn't have good music and powerful preaching. The black church is where I fell on my knees and said, God, I yield my life to you. I submit. I want to live a life for you. And because my heart is so empathic to the black church, I would be remiss not to ask the hard questions. Sometimes you don't want to have hard conversations with the ones you love. Sometimes it's very difficult to have a hard conversation with the one you love the most. The one that you love the most, it's sometimes hard to say, you need to change. If you don't change, you're going to die. It might be hard. We might be afraid of the backlash. But it's a conversation that has to happen if you really love them the way you say you love them. Wasn't it Jesus that asked Peter, lovest thou me? He had to ask him a couple of times. Peter said, Lord, you know I love you. Well, in the time of controversy, you curse me. Peter, lovest thou me? Lord, you know I love you. Love is what love does. Peter, lovest thou me? Lord, you know I love you. Love got to be more than what's on your lips. Love has got to be in the actions. Jesus said to Peter, if you love me, feed my sheep. We all know that Peter went on to become one of the greatest apostles, writing a great majority of the New Testament. But that's a lesson that he had to learn from the greatest, Jesus, before he ascended back into heaven. Feed my sheep. Take care of my people. These are my children. These are the ones that I love. And if you love me, you're going to take care of the ones that I love. And the church should be the same way. The church shouldn't be wanting to take advantage of the people, but take care of the people. Feed my sheep. It's not just about the Great Commission of preaching to them, going out into the hedges and the highways, shaking your finger and shaking the mic. But when are you shaking that cup and say, brother, go get yourself taken care of? Brother, you need a haircut. We see what we consider the world out doing more of humanitarian service than we see in our own church. And Peter, lovest thou me? Do we really love God? Do we really understand his heart? See, that's why he loved David so much. Because David messed up a whole lot of times, but he definitely was a man after God's own heart. God got a heart for the people. Take care of the people. It ain't about lining your pockets. It ain't about looking the finest and the most fabulous. Because when we go away from this world, all that material gain is going to go right back to the ashes. It's going right back to the dust. But it's the testimony that the men and women can say, it was that church over there that I found the love of God. Peter, lovest thou me? Feed my sheep. Church, I'm the Alabama church girl here every single Sunday, 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Rewind 97.9. Beat, beat, toot, toot.
Church girl. Oh, no doubt. I got you. Oh, you want me to see that clip?
Yes, please.
Gotcha. I'm going to add that to you.
All right, good people. Thank you. Got it. Here we are. All right, y'all. I have enjoyed this conversation, and it is really thought-provoking for me. It's more that I want to delve into, and I'm probably going to be studying all week, about what is the church doing and what can we do to change. We need to change the trajectory of how we consider finances. I know it's not every church, like I said before, but there are many churches that are just on the wrong road, in the words of Portia Williams, wrong road. And we need to change. There are some things that we need to change. We need to understand that, hey, there's money out there that the church could be profiting off of. There is a system in place that we got to understand that even though we preach that we got to be of the world but not be in the world, we still are living in this world. And if you don't understand the world that we're living in, then we're losing. And the folk that we consider the world, that we want to come into the house of God, are not going to follow losers. So we can't be losers. He that winneth souls is wise. We cannot be losers, saints. We cannot be losing in this game called money. We can't. The church can't be begging and expect the other folk to want to come and join us. Come join us in the begging party. No. Come on. And that's not what God intended for us. I'm just saying, I know my passion is spilling over. But anywho, can I introduce y'all to my brother and my sister? I need to make an announcement. Yeah. Solid Rock Annual Men's Day is coming up Sunday, June 28th, 2020 at 2:30 p.m. June 28th? Yeah, so the state of Alabama has lifted the ban for the churches. We can assemble now at church. So June 28th, 2020, 2:30 p.m. Solid Rock Annual Men's Day. That Solid Rock Deliverance Center will have guest speaker Pastor Vincent Rick Butler from Mount Level Baptist Church as their speaker on that particular Sunday. The theme is, no matter how this mission turns out, we know that all things work together for the good of them that love God. That's Romans 8:28. If you'd like to be a part of this Men's Day celebration, the phone number is 334-855-9592, or you can call at 334-687-0888. Come on over to Solid Rock Deliverance Center at 1044 Dale Road, Eufaula, Alabama, where Pastor William Jackson is the pastor. Dr. Florine Hill is the assistant pastor. This is brought to you by Deacon Luther Young, president of the men's department. I appreciate y'all joining in. Please tag your friends, tag your family, tag your friends, and let them know they can always come in and talk to the Alabama Church Girl. 334-591-0340. When we ask the hard questions, I'm really looking for those leaders in the church to come and give us a correct answer. Give us a viable answer. Let them know now. I'm not no pushover, and I'm not just going to accept you throwing any colloquialism at me. You have to speak some truth, some facts, and bring me some evidence. Amen. Hallelujah. I love you guys. Love your family. Love your friends. Let's have a good week as we march on down to Memorial Day. All right? Love you.